If I could just have everybody's attention for a second. This is kind of a pinch me moment, and we're actually getting to make this movie.
Frankly, it's thrilling to be working with Jim again, to be in the first movie he's wanted to do since Titanic.
It's a dream project. You know, the script, the first draft of it was written 12 years ago, and we didn't start on the film then because, frankly, the visual effects guys told me I was mad to even try. We knew that what we were about to do was significantly beyond what had already been done. We were way out in the unknown, but that's cool. I mean, that's where I like to be. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everybody for what it's taken to get to this moment. So thanks, everybody. And action.
There's the guy who did Aliens,
Terminator,
Abyss,
T2, True Lies,
Titanic. He's created massive movies.
On this film, it's pushing the envelope, and it's all just incredible and things that have never been done in filmmaking.
I started writing the film in '95, and it had all the characters in it and creatures and settings, but at the time it turned out that it wasn't possible to do what I wanted to do.
In 2005, Jim said, I think we're close enough where if we could push the technology and tell this story that we always wanted to tell.
I got it out and dusted it off and read it and said, you know, that's not too bad a story. That'd make a movie that I'd want to go see.
I've been in cryo for 5 years, 9 months, and 22 days.
Jake's on a really interesting journey.
Jake's a wounded former Marine, and he gets given the opportunity to go to Pandora.
Your brother represented a significant investment.
Since your genome is identical to his, you could step into his shoes.
An avatar is a remotely controlled body, which is the DNA of the alien, DNA of me mixed together. You're placed into a link.
Just relax and let your mind go blank.
And my thoughts and personality is channeled into a synthetically grown avatar.
Jake, can you hear me?
A recon Marine in an avatar body. Oh, that's a potent mix. I want you to learn these savages from the inside. I want you to gain their trust.
Through a series of circumstances, he meets Natiri. You should not be here.
There's something about this avatar that absolutely captures her attention.
I need your help.
He gets dropped into this situation, and you've just added a catalyst. Something's going to change.
Haven't gotten lost in the woods, have you?
Forget what team you're playing for?
They've sent us a message that they can take whatever they want. But we will send them a message that this is our land.
Well, we were creating an entire world from scratch. So you get a number of world-class artists. I mean, really the top people, the people that, you know, I'm an artist, so I wanted to find people that impressed me.
Pandora is more of a jungle planet, but everything is amped up. Mountains are huge, waterfalls are epic, and a whole bioluminescent jungle.
Outstanding.
We like to get as much reference around because those are what motivate you to come up with these fantastic designs.
Looked a lot at various regions of China, such as the Guilin area and the Zhangjiajie area, because they're these really dramatic limestone formations called karst formations. For like the smaller things, we would reference a lot of exotic flowers and just really play up the scale of those to where they're 10, 20, 50 times larger.
Pandora is a planet that has elements of beauty, but watch your step because it's a very deadly place.
The planet is filled with dangerous flying creatures and all kinds of beasts that have some kind of resemblance to things we know and avoid on Earth.
We're working with the design team and figuring out how these creatures really move, how they breathe, and how they screech. And then there's a lot of ground creatures. These creatures all have 6 legs. They all kind of move differently than terrestrial creatures we're used to on Earth. So we're kind of developing a language for how they move.
You guys are packing some heavy gear.
Yeah, that's because we're not the only thing flying around out there. Or the biggest.
You've got great kick-butt military hardware.
They have to protect themselves from this dangerous planet.
Have some extremely effective warships, Scorpion, the Samson helicopter, the Dragon, and the AMP suit. It's basically guerrilla warfare.
We've a variety of military weapons, a pump-action shotgun, the machine gun, and flamethrowers.
Good shooting, Ace.
The number of animals, the number of creatures, the number of vehicles. It just doesn't have a precedent.
You should see your faces.
We've got roughly 25 sets worked out. We've got something like 40,000 square feet of floor area, plus the rainforest, another 10,000 square feet, so they're quite big numbers.
Twitter Workshop was our main props maker, and they have done a lot of fantasy stuff, Lord of the Rings and Narnia, and so this is all made from scratch.
Over the last year and a half, we created specialty props, weaponry, costume design for the world of Avatar.
There's 120 racks of clothes here. There's thousands of costumes. We've got the best team on the planet here.
All right, let's turn up the heat.
Talk about the casting for Avatar. We wanted the best actors for the roles.
We spent months and months and months looking at people all over America, all over England and Ireland, and putting people on tape all over the world.
Get a phone call going, look, Jim Cameron wants to fly you to LA to audition for him. I was snowboarding at the time. I said, I've got to get down to the mountain first.
They will be here soon. Everyone must go, or you're gonna die.
It was a stretch from the usual auditions of ordinary roles because you're playing a creature from a different planet.
I just want to say thank you.
Don't thank. You don't thank for this.
The big discovery on this film in the early days was that it was very important to cast somebody who looked the way you wanted your character to look. Well, what we found is that it was much more difficult to capture the fine nuances of expression when the performer didn't match the character.
Wasn't casting only voices. It was casting a certain level of physicality and interaction.
People literally laughed when I was explaining that Zoe had to train for months because they thought, well, why would you have to do that for an animated film? Well, it's not animated. It's captured performance. So every bit of the physicality of her character, and this applies to all the other that are Na'vi or avatars, everything had to be created by them.
It was very important for us to put all of our actors through a training regimen that was specific to their characters. We had them work with archery experts. We had them learn to ride horses.
To say we did a lot of training is an understatement.
I was wanting to do a film where I was physically challenged, not only mentally. I wanted to incorporate my body to a character.
We also had to do a dialect training and a language training.
Alaxi Navilu Kete ECV. Kete ECV.
I am the creator of the Na'vi language. It is between 400 and 500 words.
To me, it's been the most challenging thing. Nari.
Sam had to go through very collapsed but intense Marine Corps training.
We had to take Sam and teach him how to be military. Someone came down and showed him what it's like to hold a gun. We had to teach him how to use a pugil stick the way a Marine would.
To me, it was more the way these guys see the world and the way that their training has made them think, and nothing can stop them.
You got some hard kids showing up in this neighborhood.
It's just another hellhole. For the live action side of it, we did more weaponry training, fight training.
Quaritch carries this laser-sighted pistol, and this comes into play occasionally.
Mask on!
We work with Stephen inside the amp suit and make it look like that he's been doing it for like the last 6-7 years.
And Michelle, she wanted to learn to fly that helicopter as if it were real.
She takes care of the science crew. She flies them back and forth. And I did about a good 11, 12 hours with Kevin, who actually taught James how to fly his helicopter.
Thank you for flying Air Pandora.
We went to Hawaii because Jim wanted us to experience a real rainforest.
Just to get a physical taste of what it's going to be like to live in a planet and not have to rely on anything.
We absorbed everything, and there's a difference between being out in the real world and then coming into this grey, desolate area.
And I didn't want the actors to not have any kind of basis for feeling like they were in a rainforest. So we went way up in the mountains.
You know, you don't know how your foot lands in mud if you're just standing on cement. So your body reacts differently to things once you've actually gone out and done those things.
So it was about making it real for the actors in the volume.
Low cap ready, and action!
For
performance captures a technique where you try to capture the performance of an actor and translate it to a digital character. You put an actor in a suit with markers on the suit. We put you in a spatial volume, using a lot of cameras all around to record the motions of all the markers. The computer is creating a real-time moving skeleton of you. From that skeleton, you now can drive a computer-generated character.
The intent is to capture the entire performance of the talent. We're recording tons of high-definition reference so that we can really get those subtle nuances.